So I think I'm just gonna be doing a whole lot of rambling in this video. And of course, I had to start off with the cop of the week. It looks like the second volume dropped. And I do have a story time. And it's actually about how I got this volume. So it was a Saturday. I have not read a single page yet, by the way. It was a Saturday and I saw the Manga store's Instagram story. And they posted that they had the second volume, so I was like, okay, I want to go and get that. So I went outside and I visited the manga store. And it's always funny visiting on a weekend because all the magic and I don't know if they play any other card games, but all the card game tryhards are there battling each other, which I think is very cool. But I never really gotten into physical card games, only digital, which is why I never really joined them. But I was about to head out with this bad boy. But there's an older lady in front of me because she was also getting something. And she did have quite the cute dog, which I was gonna pet, but I don't. She kind of like pulled him away from me because she was like talking to the cashier, and I was like trying to pet the dog, but the dog was like behind her, so I guess she thought the dog was bothering me. That's why she pulled him away. But she was buying like some kind of gifts for her nephews, I think. She was buying Pokemon cards. But when I'm saying buying, like, she was seriously buying, like spending hella money on these gifts because she like asked the cashier if they had like any kind of special Pokemon bundles or collections. And he was like showing her this collector's edition or whatever. And apparently they only had like 2 of those, even though they had ordered 10, which is always, I mean, it just sounds hella frustrating. I think I was talking to the owner the other day, and he also told me like that they had hella delays on the Vagabond volumes, but I guess it is what it is. But anyway, she ends up spending like 150 to 200 just on gifts from this manga store for her nephews. And she's always like so nervous because she didn't know if they'll like it or not. And I was like, come on, like, if your nephews don't like the gift, like, I'll come over and I'll be the happiest boy alive. But anyway, after she gets done and leaves, I'm like, yeah, I would like to have this. But I didn't have enough cash on me. So I was gonna pay with my card. But then, like, the card reader stops working. And he's like, well, I'm sorry. Do you mind paying in cash? And I was like, well, I don't have enough. So my plan was to go to an ATM. But for some reason, I mean, I guess it was because it was a Saturday. Like, there's so many people in the city, man. It was annoying me. But like the line at the ATM, there are like 10 people. And I was like, hell no, I'm not gonna wait that long. And so I went on a Monday. And he recognized me, the cashier did. And he was like, oh yeah, I remember. The card reader didn't stop working. And then he told me that it started working right after I left the store. He like showed me his monitor because like everything was bugged and frozen. But I guess it just continued working after I was gone. Which was quite hilarious in my opinion. But anyway, I just finished watching Mashal. It's like a fantasy anime. The protagonist goes to this like wizard school. I think they got heavily inspired by Harry Potter, which I thought was quite funny at like certain times. But he goes to this wizard school, but he can't use magic. But he's like, basically, he put all of his skill points in physical, and he has 0 magic talent. But he's like a superhuman when it comes to physical activities. And I thought it was quite funny. Nothing too crazy, but it was a solid watch in my opinion. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10 on my anime list. But I've been trying to get into watching more stuff recently. I'm almost done watching Arcane, which I'm quite excited about. Watching the finale. And then there's also PoE coming out in a couple of days. PoE 2. So hopefully that'll be good. Good. Because lately it's, I don't know, I always have a hard time when it comes to games. well, at least like finding games to play with my friends. But finding enjoyable games, that is, to play with my friends. That's how I'm gonna word that. Because there's a lot of games you can play. But there's also games you can play that you don't really enjoy, but you just don't know what else to play, so you end up playing some lackluster games. I don't know if you can relate, but yeah. Speaking of games, I did make a Discord, so if you're interested, there are a couple people on it. Nothing too crazy. Which I'm glad. I don't think I could handle too many people. At least without any mods. But yeah, definitely excited to be reading through this one. I think I'm gonna read it before bed so that I won't be staring at my phone, and hopefully that'll improve my sleep. I also have another story to tell. So this was when I came back from Berlin, and I hadn't eaten a whole lot that day. So I was like, alright, let me get a kebab from this kebab store. And I go in, and I assume the owner was taking my order. And I'm like hella tired, I'm hungry, and I just tell him like, just give me a kebab. And he asked me like, you want it like with everything on it? And I was like, yeah, I trust you. But I usually order like with everything on it and spicy. So he's like making my kebab, and whenever you put the meat in, he's like, here, I'll give you some extra meat just for you. And I was like, oh, thank you. That is very kind of you. And I get my kebab, and I'm gonna tip him. So I have like a €2 coin that I was gonna give him. And I was like, here, this is for you. And he starts like, he just doesn't wanna accept the tip. He's like, no, keep it, you don't have to tip me. And I was like, no, take my tip. And he's like, no, really, you don't have to tip me. like he was actively rejecting my tip, which I don't think ever happened before. But I thought it was funny, and so I was like, alright, I'm just gonna leave this on your desk right here. And he goes, no, like take. But then, at long last, he did accept it. But he was like, alright, at least take like some candy. Because he had like chocolate bars laying at the front desk. And so he gave me one of those. I was like, alright, thanks, bet. Very kind guy. But another weird thing that happened was when I was coming back home after I had bought this volume, I get stopped by a stranger on the sidewalk, and I had my headphones on, and I was like, okay, that's weird, because usually nobody stops me, at least. But anyways, I was like, okay, what's this guy want from me? And he did ask me where to eat good kebab. And I was like, okay. So I obviously had to show him the best place. And I told him what to get, what to order. And hopefully he did enjoy his kebab. But after that, I was like, man, do I look that much alike? Do I look that Turkish? That people just assume that I'd know good kebab places? Because if so, I mean, I guess I'll take it. My friend said that he probably asked me because he knew I had good taste, which I also like. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or a pleasant evening. If you would like to save my life, you can do that by subscribing. If you like the video, let me know in the comments. If you'd like to join the Discord, it'll be in the description. Take care of yourself, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.